Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of 5 Things That We Learned, the show where I go through all the major talking points of the previous Chelsea game. But first things first, guys, make sure you smash a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And let's dive into it. Chelsea recorded back-to-back home wins for the first time since October 2022 with a 2-0 win over Sheffield United. Not a brilliant performance. First half, one of the worst halves of football I've watched in a long time. Second half, little tactical tweak at half time, and the individual quality shone through. We got the 3 points, and that was the most important thing. But as always, there's loads to talk about and loads to dive into with Chelsea games as usual, guys. So my first point I wanted to make is this has slightly eased the pressure on Pochettino, not by much, but going into this game off the back of back-to-back defeats and dreadful performances against United and Everton, this was much needed respite for the gaffer. 3 points, strongish performance, more so second half against Sheffield United. Look, I didn't once feel that we were in danger of being undone by Sheffield United or conceding a goal. I thought we controlled the game throughout, despite not creating a lot of chances, particularly in that first half. And, Sheffield United themselves didn't really have that many opportunities or that many meaningful chances. We dominated the ball for large periods of time. Look, there's going to be tougher fixtures for sure, but this for the manager was absolutely massive because already a lot of fans are kind of lost faith in him. A lot of fans have been Pochettino out. And do you know what? Actually, credit where it's due. In-game management has not been a strong point for Pochettino so far this season. I think there's been a lot of areas where in games he's not got things right. Substitutions have been proactive rather than been reactive rather than proactive. And there's not been enough sort of little tweaks here and there in games. But do you know what? There were no changes at halftime, which I was a little bit surprised about. I was calling for changes at halftime. But the one thing that he did do, which made a big difference, and ultimately I think won us the game, was a little tweak where he moved Cole Palmer from the number 10 out to the right hand side, and he swapped him with Sterling, and Sterling went more central. And literally straight away, Palmer was involved in that role on the right hand side imminently. He sat down the fullback with a little drop of the shoulder. Obviously the goal bound shot was blocked. And then it happened. We the main man stepped up, Palmer, and put the ball into net. So that little thing there, swapping Palmer and Sterling at half time made a big difference. It made a big difference. Calmness. There's calmness on the ball. A little bit of a dip last week, Palmer, but look, that made a big difference. So fair play to the manager for that one. I think tactically and in-game management, he got that spot on yesterday against Sheffield United. That little one tweak made all the difference for us in that game. And he deserves credit for that. Look, the rest of the performance wasn't great, but all we wanted was to win, and we won. And fair play to him for that tactical change. So, yes, we can criticize him for when, he feels he's not managed games well and the tactics have been a bit off, but it's only fair to give praise where a change that he made did make a difference. So fair play to the manager for that one. And hopefully we can see more sort of astute in-game management, tactical switches in further games, because it's not something that we've seen enough of this season so far. Next thing I wanted to talk about, I just touched on him there, but Cole Palmer, what a player. What a player he is for us. And look, I don't want to start shitting on other players, but a lot of the business has been criticised by Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea's business has been criticised. In some quarters, rightfully so, but I don't think enough has been spoken about £42.5 million for Cole Palmer. You can tell that, he's been at Man City, he's come through the academy there, he's been in the fringes of the first teams. Well, you can tell this is a guy that has been brought up in the best possible way in terms of football education. His footballing IQ, he's so intelligent. His decision making is always spot on. And compared to what we had last season, the fact that, we sold Havertz for 65 million, Mount for 60 million, and Cole Palmer's come in and is a clear upgrade on both of those guys. This is not an exercise in bashing those players, but it's just to say, when people say we haven't upgraded in enough positions, this is one position where we have absolutely upgraded him compared to what we had before. Palmer needs, one goal to match Kai Havertz's best ever tally in the Premier League, and he's already equaled his most assists in a single season. He's been an excellent signing and will only get better. And as I was saying, it's not about bashing Havertz. He wasn't the only player that massively underperformed for us. And in terms of comparing him with Mason Mount, he literally needs 4 more goals to match Mount's best tally and 7 assists to match that one. So I think Cole Palmer probably will eclipse Mason Mount's best ever tally this season as well. But just to say that Palmer is, as the chant goes, he's dynamite. I mean, what a player! Calm on the ball, skillful, got a great eye for a pass, intelligent. He's in the right place at the right time. How many times have we seen, Mudryk this season cut the ball back and there's no one there to finish it off? This time it's just a cutback from Sterling and Palmer's there, right place, right time to put the ball in the net. Then it's a great ball across the face of goal as well for Nicolas Jackson to tap home the second goal. Palmer this season, 10 Premier League starts, has been he's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Cole Palmer, 10 Premier League starts this season, 6 goals, 3 assists, 7 big chances created. That's what it's all about. That's what we want. That's what you want from a creative player. Those are the sort of numbers we should be getting. 1.5 key passes per game. Obviously, the first 3 games he didn't start, he was a sub, but he still looked like he was making a positive impact there. And we just look like we've got an absolute baller on our hands. He leads the way for most goal involvements for a Chelsea player this season. He's on 9, Jackson on 8, and I think Sterling's on 6 or 7. But yeah, brilliant player, brilliant signing. And I don't think it's been spoken enough about this for me. Everyone went on about James Maddison as signing of the summer. As time goes on, I think this was the signing of the summer in my opinion. And this guy will only get better. And already, having not been here that long, for me right now, he's Chelsea's most important player. Absolutely Chelsea's most important player. And pretty much the first name on the team sheet. My third point that I wanted to make was about Nicolas Jackson. 7th Premier League goal of the season. 8 goal contributions now this season. 7 goals, 1 assist. Not bad for a number 9 that has literally just arrived in the Premier League. First season, 22 years of age. Only his 3rd season in senior football. People need to start putting a bit more respect on Nicolas Jackson's name right now, because he is delivering and he is doing well for this team. Whatever way you want to look at it, Nicolas Jackson is doing really well. For someone that, should have been a rotational striker, but because we didn't sign an elite forward, that hasn't happened. But whatever way you want to look at it, 7 goals, 1 assist in 13 Premier League starts for Jackson. First season in England. This is better than good, guys. This is better than good. You've got other Premier League strikers that haven't even got close to that, yet Jackson seems to be attracting negativity. I really don't understand it. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone bangs on about, players like Ollie Watkins, good player. He's been in the Premier League for quite a while now. And Nicolas Jackson has only got 1 less Premier League goal than Ollie Watkins. If you look here, Jackson on 7, same amount of goals as Alexander Isak, 1 less than Ollie Watkins. He's a couple behind Solanke and Bowen, only 3 goals behind Heung-min Son. Like, this is really not a bad start to the season. And a certain knockoff Erling Haaland, a knockoff Haaland, the market version, the Poundland version, Rasmus Højlund, 70-odd million quid, not a single Premier League goal yet. And this is a guy that's coming for 32.5 million quid. And actually, for a first season in England, is doing really well. I honestly think he is. Yes, he's raw. Yes, his decision-making needs to improve, like with all young players. But absolutely, Nicolas Jackson is starting well. He's 3 goals away from being double figures for the Premier League. 10 goals in his first season would have been really. I would have taken that at the start of the season. I remember when we signed him, and I said if he scored 10 goals this season in the Premier League, that would be a massive plus. Already, it's 1 more than Timo Werner's best tally for Chelsea already. And it's only 1 fewer than Lukaku's best as well. I mean, obviously, that's not much to shout home about because Lukaku ended up being a disaster. But, he's improving. Look, the poor areas of his game, he's improving that. And he deserves respect. As I said, 3 goals away from double figures in the first season. That really isn't bad at all. It's not bad at all. People need to put more respect on his name. Yes, he misses chances, but I've just got little stats up here. 16 games, 13 starts, 7 goals. He's played 1,193 minutes, and it's a goal every 170 minutes. And for a developmental number 9, that is a really, really good return, really good numbers. So I honestly don't think we can complain about Nicolas Jackson. Deserves more respect, and he's a lot better than Amanda Broja. Broja came on. This is trying to get back to fitness after that ACL, but missed a shocking open goal. So Jackson, for me right now, is the clear number 1 striker at Chelsea. There's no denying it. But look, he'll need to raise his game again for sure. Nkunku back in the mix. We're going to sign an elite striker maybe in January or the summer. So Jackson's going to have to push on and keep raising his game. My next point I wanted to talk about is kind of a combination of points. Conor Gallagher and alongside Moises Caicedo in the midfield. Enzo Fernandez dropped for this game, wasn't selected. Mauricio Pochettino confirming that after the game. And you know what? It's kind of a little bit funny. I'll get onto that point in a sec. But, first half was poor, as you know. But Gallagher, for me, was the only Chelsea player, that didn't seem bothered by the pressure at the moment. He was everywhere. He was winning the ball back in defence. He was running forward to join the attacks. Kind of an all-action performance from him, as you would expect. Twice his pressing created shooting opportunities. He obviously made one for himself. Obviously, I think he shot it straight down, straight at the goalkeeper, so it wasn't really easy. But another interesting thing as well was how his display kind of lifted Moises Caicedo. I don't know if I'm looking too much into this, but is it a coincidence that Caicedo's best performance in a Chelsea shirt, arguably, has come not playing with Enzo, but playing with Conor Gallagher? I don't know. He did really well in a single pivot, Caicedo, and it allowed Gallagher to be more involved in the final third. And it just seems mad that Chelsea could potentially sell him in January, despite him being one of our most informed players. It really doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. But once again, he was brilliant, all action, pressing, high energy. Poch saying after the game that, it's clear between the club and Gallagher that, he wants him to stay, doesn't want to sell him. So hopefully the ownership listens to that and don't cash in on him, because we do absolutely need to keep him. He's been one of our most important players this season, certainly most improved. No two ways about it. And yeah, Gallagher once again impresses. And, I'm not saying that we don't need Enzo Fernandez, because we absolutely do. Because I think he's a fantastic player. But, it goes to show that Chelsea can win games without Enzo. Yes, I know it was bottom of the table, and Enzo will play a lot of games for us. And I firmly believe he'll be a very important player for Chelsea in the future. But it's interesting that, Caicedo had his best game alongside Gallagher. Maybe that suits him better. I'm not really too sure. But Gallagher, outstanding. Moises Caicedo, absolutely brilliant as well. And the last point I want to talk about was clean sheet and a solid start for Petrovic. I don't think really any of us had seen anything of him. Obviously, we saw 5 minutes against Everton. He flapped it across for that second goal. Not ideal. Made his first start, Stamford Bridge. Didn't have much to do. We got our first proper glimpse of him. Look, let's be honest, it was hard to learn much about him because Sheffield United had minimal threat on the goal. But, he was alert when he palmed away, I think it was Hamer's free kick. And look, he showed sharpness when required. He looked comfortable with the ball at his feet. And he helped us build out confidently from the back. I'm surprised that Sheffield United, given how poor we've been playing out from the back, didn't press us more when on the ball at the back. But look, I thought he acquainted himself well. A solid start. And look, there'll be tougher tests ahead. But look, starting with a clean sheet is the best way to go. So, yeah, I think we can be potentially excited about Petrovic. But, guys, that's just my 5 things learned from Chelsea to Sheffield United. Neil, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree. As always, make sure you smash the likes, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll catch you again in another video soon. Up the Chelsea, and peace out.